Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and on this episode we're going to do some WrestleMania 35 predictions. Basically, we're going to run down the card. We're going to try to go through this quickly because there's so many matches and we're going to make our predictions. So first up, for the pre-show, we have for the Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. I'm going with Buddy Murphy here. I don't see no reason for them to take the belt off him just yet. I think he's a solid champion. I think he deserves a little bit more of a run. Next up, and like I said, we're going to go through these quickly. For the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I'm going to go with Rob Gronkowski. For all the reasons that we know, Vince McMahon loves that SportsCenter moment, and there's no one else that's going to get him a better SportsCenter moment than having Gronk in the Battle Royal. If it's not Gronk and they stick with a wrestler, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. But I think Rob Gronkowski is going to win it just for that. For the Women's Battle Royal, I'm pretty sure this is going to go to Asuka after them pretty much crapping on her to give the belt to Charlotte for the main event. This is kind of the bone I think that they're going to throw her way. So I expect Asuka to win that. Next up, for the Raw Tag Team Championship, we have the Revival versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I'm going to go with Hawkins and Ryder. I think this is a perfect place to end Hawkins' losing streak. For as much as I'd like to have the Revival win, I don't think that WWE cares that much about tag team wrestling. So I think that this is going to be one of them times where they don't give the fans what they want, basically. Although there are a lot of Hawkins and Ryder fans. I like Hawkins and Ryder. I like both of these teams, actually. But I think Hawkins and Ryder are going to pick up the win here. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, this one's a little bit more convoluted. We have the Usos versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus The Bar versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. I'm going with the Usos to retain here. I think we have to have a couple matches where the belt's retained, so this is one of those. I see there's an off chance that the NXT contingent picks up the win, or maybe any of these actually could pick up the win, but I'm going to stick with the Usos here. Next up, for the Women's Tag Team Championship, the Boss and Hug Connection, Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya Neidhart versus the Iconics versus Nia Jax and Tamina. I have a weird feeling this is going to go to the Iconics here. I think the other teams are going to kind of eliminate each other. I don't think we're going to get the feel-good Beth Phoenix moment here because I think they're going to save that for some other feel-good moments later. And I think we want to have a couple matches where heels win, and I think the Iconics would be a good way to go here. Next up, for the Intercontinental Championship, we have Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. I'm going to go with Balor on this one. I think he hasn't lost at a pay-per-view when he goes demon mode, so I don't think they're going to start here. Again, another one of those feel-good WrestleMania moments. Speaking of which, next match, and like I said, I'm going to rip through these really fast. I don't want to make a 40-minute video. We're going to have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I'm going Roman all the way. I cannot see any reason why they would not have Roman winning this match. I think it's what Vince wants. It's what the fans want. I think this is a good spot here, especially coming back from cancer. You got to give it to the guy. Next up, for the United States Championship, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. This match may be up in the air. I haven't seen anything today. I've been running out all day, so I don't know if this has been canceled or readjusted. But I know that Rey Mysterio has a leg injury or an ankle injury, so this may get thrown out or changed. If it stays this way, I'm going with Samoa Joe retaining. Like I said, we need some heels to win. We need some champions to retain. I think this is one of the spots right here. Next up, we have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. A dream match of sorts. I think this is probably one of the matches I'm most excited for on the night. I think this will be a great match. I'm picking Randy Orton to win. Like I said, we're not going to get we can't have every face win every match, even though it is WrestleMania and that's what it's kind of geared for. We have to have some thrown the other way just to make it competitive. And I think Randy's been out of that title picture for long enough that it's time for him to get back into it. And I think this is a great match, and I think the sell will be on the rematches. Next up, we have Shane McMahon versus The Miz. I'm going with The Miz here. I don't think Shane's ever won at WrestleMania, and I think there's a good reason for that. I think he likes to put people over. I think with the TV show, again, cross-platform promoting for Vince McMahon, which we all know he loves, so I think I'm going to go with Miz here on this one. In the retirement match for Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin is up next. I think Baron Corbin wins if they keep this match Angle and Corbin. I have a feeling it's going to change. Someone's going to beat up Corbin and take his spot, whether that be The Rock, The Undertaker, John Cena. I think Kurt Angle kind of deserves a bigger match. I think that's a general consensus. If they keep it Angle versus Corbin, I think Angle does the ages-old tradition and puts Corbin over on the way out and then gets his heat back by putting the ankle lock on him after match or something to that effect. So I see Corbin winning if it stays as that match. Next up, Triple H versus Batista, with Triple H's career on the line in a Falls Count Anywhere, no disqualification match. I'm going Batista. I think, again, this is going to be nice for Batista to ride off into the sunset. We see some kind of show of respect either tonight, tomorrow night on Raw, Tuesday on SmackDown. I believe Triple H fully wants to focus on NXT and running the backstage element of it. So I think this is a perfect opportunity on the grandest stage of them all for him to walk away and also give his friend a proper send-off. Next up, for the Universal Championship, we have Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. That is Universal, I'm sorry. I'm running through them so fast that I'm getting myself confused. I'm going with Seth here. I talked about it earlier where we were going to build to the feel-good moments, and this is the first of those feel-good moments. I think Seth Rollins wins. I think we at the very least get Roman Reigns coming out, hugging him and embracing in a semi-shield walk-off and potentially a full shield walk-off if Dean Ambrose is there, and I don't believe the whole Dean Ambrose is leaving thing until he's actually left and wrestling somewhere else. I think it's all part of a gimmick, so I think we might see a full Shield reunion here with Seth leaving as the champion. I could see this go either way. This is the one where I don't trust Vince to do basically the thing that's been set up, which is having Seth win. I don't trust him not to keep the belt on Brock Lesnar, because we've seen over and over again he likes having the belt on Brock Lesnar, which it's not a bad thing. I think Brock Lesnar is a hell of a talent and a hell of a draw, and I'm not as upset as a lot of people are that he's not on TV as much. It makes the championship, to me, feel a little more special. I remember back in the day when Hulk Hogan wouldn't wrestle on TV but maybe once every few months. But I digress. I'm sidetracking here, and like I said, I was trying to rip through this really fast. Next up, we have for the World Championship, Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. I'm going Kofi. They had this story fall into their laps, and they have to be as happy as anybody could be about it, because we have Kofi Kingston, a guy who I thought, and a lot of people thought long deserved to be a world champion, is finally in an area where they can back him and make him the champion. I think that they're going to go Kofi here. Again, another one of those feel-good moments. And why not? The guy friggin' deserves it for all the crap he's been through there. Last but not least, in the historical main event, the three-way for both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. If they end the show with anything other than Becky Lynch winning the championship, I believe people are going to look at the show as a failure. I would say this is almost the most stone cold lead pipe lock there is on the show. I can't see any way that Becky doesn't walk out of here the double champion and fulfilling her destiny as the man and being on top of the the whole industry. But basically, those are my quick predictions. Like I said, I wanted to rip them off, make a quick video for you guys. We're here a little bit before NXT TakeOver starts. I'm recording this, so we're about to go into TakeOver. Wanted to get this out and be working on editing it while that was going on, but too much inside baseball there. Anyway, these are my predictions for WrestleMania 35. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I got some of my picks wrong? Do you totally agree with everything I said? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit like, share, subscribe if you haven't, ding the bell, everything that all the normal YouTubers tell you to do. But that's what I got to say. My name is George Coles, and this has been my predictions for WrestleMania 35.